All right, guys, so in today's video, we're gonna talk about more rotation. Everybody wants more rotation. I'm gonna talk today about what lower body feels you can add to get more open from the top of your swing and get that open look at impact everybody wants. All right, so lower body feels to add more rotation. Obviously, everyone that comes in wants more rotation. I don't think I've talked to one person yet who's tells me, hey Eric, why don't you take some rotation out of my golf swing, right? We know that more rotation is better. Better for what? Better for everything. Better for contact, club face control, compression, distance, consistency, so on and so forth. There's some sequencing that goes on. I won't say I've never seen someone who's too open, right? Or from down the line that gets too open. Some younger people might get out of sequence with it, but the moral of the story is you kind of can't get too open. More rotation is good. We've done other videos with using your hands more. If you can't get more open, it's not like that's a death sentence and you can't play, right? But if we can get more open, we want to. So how do we do that? Well, lower body feels more rotation. There's a lot of different options here. I'm going to go through some of the top ones, and we're going to start from the ground up. So rotation, we're talking about from the top of the backswing to and past impact, okay? So from the top of the backswing, let's start with the feet. If I wanted to add the most rotation during my downswing, I would take the pressure in my feet from wherever I am at the top, and I would make it go the most toward my left heel. So the more towards the heel, or from this angle, the more back this way I'm going from the top, the easier it's going to be for me to get my left hip out of the way and rotate more. From a foot perspective, it's sort of as simple as that, okay? I want to get to the top, and I'm going to try and get my weight back into my left heel right away from the top. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate one like that. Weight to the left heel. Okay, that one felt pretty good. How soon to the left heel from the top? Right away. Okay, you can go right from the top of the backswing to the left heel. In reality, some people will go more towards the middle of their foot and then to the left heel. Some people who don't rotate as well typically will go more towards their left toe and then heel. So from this side, guys who don't rotate as well, more towards their toe, and then they kind of get stuck like this. You want to go right from the top towards your left heel. That would be feel number one with the foot. The next part for me would be the left leg as a whole. Now, there's different ways to do this. Obviously, some guys from here like to see the left leg staying more bent and turning and then extending up, and that's cool, that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. Other people from the top go right from here and extend the left leg sooner from the top. I don't think either one's right or wrong. For me, I fall a little bit more into I like to get my left leg extended a little bit sooner. More specifically, what happens is you'd go from the top of your swing, wherever you are at the top, you would add a little bit of knee flex initially in the early part of your downswing. So if you go on YouTube here and you watch someone swing that you like from down the line, they'll have a certain amount of knee flex at the top of the backswing, and in early transition, which for me I'm a little low because I don't swing as long, in early transition their knees will reflex, both of them. So in reality you will add some flexing as you turn first, but if that's going to happen automatically, you don't necessarily have to try and add flex to it, right? I don't know, for you in particular, you might have to look at that, but from the top, you can very much go right from here, get the weight into your left heel and get your left leg extending or straightening right from the top. That was a feel for me that I use for rotation a lot and that I use for some people. You don't have to have your knee bending a ton and then extend out. You don't have to do that. You can straighten your leg right away. So from there, that would look more like this. I'll go ahead and demonstrate one from there. And again, guys, as I'm doing these are my feels. As I tell you all when I do the online coaching or in-person coaching, there's feels and there's reels, right? So if we slow some of these down, I'm probably not doing exactly what I want on every single one. It's a feel for me to get from where I am to closer to where I want to go. You just have to exaggerate accordingly. So if my left leg didn't straighten enough there soon enough, then I need to exaggerate more, not necessarily do something different. So left leg straightening from the top will get us the rotation. Same thing if you looked at another sport. If I was playing baseball here, right, there might be a step and then a straightening of my leg. It's here, it's bent first, I'm turning, and I'm extending here like this. It's just a timing thing for when I want to do that. So straightening the leg from the top. Another thing with my left leg that some people like would be a kneecap reference. So something I've used before would be I'd go to the top of my backswing and I'd feel like I'd get my kneecap to the target by the time my club got roughly parallel to the ground. Whether you want to bend it and do that or straighten it and do it. Obviously, where my kneecap doesn't really matter, where it is in space, that's just an effort to get my left hip around. We'll get there in a minute. So another feel from the top, kneecap towards the target, right away from the top of the backswing. We'll go ahead and do one like that. Okay, and that provides me about the same feel of rotation. Up from the kneecap then, and my left leg would be my hip. So from the top of the backswing, again from this side, there's gonna be some shifting to the left. There's gonna be some pressure shifting to the left, some body mass moving to the left. I don't want a ton of lateral. There's just a little bit of lateral. And then you wanna get your left hip out of the way. Roughly, what we look for from face on would be if you watch a good player and you draw a line down their left hip or the left edge of their pelvis, I'd like to see that on or inside of their left ankle as a rough estimate. Do some people go forward of that? Yes, they do. I'm saying in general, as a stock model, I want that left hip to never get in front of or to the left of my left ankle. So if I had a straight line up here like this, my knee can get outside of it, but I want to keep my hip inside of it. So feels for that, right? And if I do that same thing from here, you kind of, everyone comes in, they want the two cheek look. You can see both butt cheeks and kind of wide open from there. So left hip from here, working basically right from the top this way. Most people don't need to feel a shift into the left. Most of the times that happens by itself. Most people need to feel like a lateral right off the bat. There'll be some shift anyway. So we'll go ahead and hit with that. So I'm gonna feel like I get my left hip working out of the way right from the top. Go ahead and do one like so. Okay, and that one felt really good. And as someone who doesn't, you know, who gets underneath and really extends a little bit my whole life, those are feels that I need to use just to get my stock pattern down. So left hip out of the way. Now, that's all my left side stuff, right? Now, if we kind of gradually work from my left side to my right side, belt buckle would be another thing that some people could use. So from the top, if I get my belt buckle feeling like it's facing the target as soon as possible, listen, all these things are designed to do the same stuff, but feel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 might not resonate and feel 8 does, and then you're good to go. So I want you to have all of them. So from the top, having a sensation like my belt buckle is pointed at the target almost right away from the top of my backswing is another feel that I've used here. So we'll go ahead and give that a feel, sort of feeling like this. So belt buckle open right off the bat, and that actually felt really good for me too. So for me, as I'm going through those two felt better to me than the first couple I did. What does that mean? Doesn't mean anything other than those are the feels that I can use when I go practice. There's no correct way to do this or correct thing to feel. These are just options. Belt buckle, moving to my right side. I'm someone who, when I rotate a ton and I feel my left side, I have a tendency for my right side to kind of hang back and doesn't get through it enough. Obviously, if my right side turns through, my left side is going to turn as well, okay? So I tend to like to have right side feels. What would I feel? Well, I would feel my right hip. For me, I like to have a feel like my right hip gets pointed all the way, even with my left, kind of by the time I'm at impact. I don't really get there, but a sensation that my right hip is turning through and kind of getting even with my left. Right from the top, we'll go ahead and give that one a feel here. So I'm feeling this here, okay? So right hip turning through. And that one, see, I just feel like I get better, get through the ball better when I do that. And even when I record it, I can confirm that. So those are a bunch of different lower body feels. Into the left heel from the top, into the left heel from the top. Want to get the left leg, you can keep it bent and then straighten it, or you can straighten it right from the top. And again, from face on, you can keep that thing bent as you turn and then straighten, or you can straighten right from the top. Left hip from here will work virtually straight back. There will be some lateral kind of by itself. You want to keep that inside your heel. Again, from here, left hip will work out of the way. Belt buckle going towards the target by the time you're at impact, or your right hip through. That's a bunch of, I don't know how many number, but that's a bunch of lower body feels. None of them are correct or incorrect. They're just ways to feel the same things. There's more details there in terms of the angle of things and how you would shift different things, but those are some general feels to start with. I hope that makes sense. It's a bunch of different feels to do the same thing. Don't think about them all at the same time. Pick one at a time and then go from there. Use some form of feedback to confirm that you're doing it. If you guys haven't subscribed already, please subscribe below. Click the like button, leave a comment down below if you guys have any questions, and we'll see you all soon.